What's up guys, this is once again Laura and welcome to our science class. In this video, I'm going to show you the non-Mendelian patterns of inheritance, in which we're expected to explain the different non-Mendelian patterns of inheritance. Previously, in your grade 8 lesson, you learned that cells divide to produce a new cell, and meiosis is one of the processes producing genetic variation in Mendelian patterns of inheritance. Alright, before anything else, let us first define different terms that you might encounter along this video. Number 1, genetics. Number 2, inheritance. Number 3, variation. And number 4 is gene. Let's start with number 1. It is a branch of biology concerned with the study of genes, genetic variation, and heredity in organism. Correct, it's genetics. Another is a process by which genetic information is passed on from parents to the child. Inheritance. Any difference between cells, individual organism, or group of organism of any species is called variation. It is a unit of heredity, a section of DNA that codes for a specific trait. This is called gene. Next, let us know the difference between genotype and phenotype, which is common terms that are being used in the different patterns of inheritance. I hope you're familiar with genotype. It is the genetic makeup of an organism, or a combination of two alleles, while phenotype is a physical feature or trait of an organism. Example, red or white or beautiful or ugly. Let's have more example of this genotype and phenotype. Genotype, for example, I have two flowers here. 4 o'clock flower, the first flower, what is the genotype? Alright, very good. FR and FR. How about the other one? What is the genotype of our next flower? It's FW and FW. Very good. The genetic makeup of an organism. Now let's move on to phenotype. What is the phenotype of our first flower? Correct, it is red. How about the other one? The phenotype is color white. These are the physical feature or physical appearance or physical traits of an organism. So that is the difference between genotype and phenotype. Always remember, I hope it's clear. Let us proceed. Let us define homozygous. This means having two identical alleles, while heterozygous means having two different alleles. Next, I hope you're familiar with Punnett square. Punnett square is a graphical representation of possible genotype of an offspring arising from a particular cross or breeding event. This is what we usually use when we are breeding two different traits using their genotypes. Next, do you know Gregor Mendel? Gregor Mendel started his decade-long research project to investigate the different patterns of inheritance. In his research, he investigated pea plant, and he studied 7 different features in the pea plant that includes the seed height, the seed weight, the seed color, and shape. Gregor Mendel's research finding serves as a foundation of understanding of heredity and variation. That is why he is called the father of modern genetics. Non-Mendelian inheritance. This is a type of inheritance wherein the patterns of phenotypes does not coincide with those that was presented in Mendelian law of inheritance, which is our lesson for today. The 3 types of non-Mendelian inheritance. Let's have the first one. Incomplete dominance. It is a form of intermediate inheritance in which one allele does not completely dominate another allele, resulting in a new phenotype or third type phenotype or a new trait. Let's have an example. We have a red snapdragon flower cross with a white snapdragon flower, resulting to a pink snapdragon flower, meaning to say one allele is not completely dominant with another allele, resulting to a third type of phenotype or a new trait which is colored pink. And now, let me show you how it happens. We have here the genotype of a red snapdragon flower, which is FR. And we also have the genotype for a white snapdragon flower, which is FW. Now, let us cross them using Punnett square. So, you have to put all the genotypes in each boxes and mix them together. The red, put it downward, and the white, put it sideward, mix them together. Alright, then let us identify the genotype. Always remember that each boxes is equivalent to 25% and the 4 boxes is equivalent to 100%. So, as you can see, each dragon has the same genotype, which is FR and FW, which is equal to 100% FW. That is our genotype. Now, remember that red flower plus white flower result to a pink flower. So that is how we use the Punnett square. Let's have another example. Show the possible outcome of the cross between white and pink flower. So you have here the genotype for white flower, which is FW and FW, while the pink is FR and FW. It is wrong when you use FP or FP because we know that the pink flower is a result from a cross between white and red flower. Therefore, it should be FR and FW. Always remember that. Now, let us cross this white and pink flower. On top, we have the white flower, and on the side, we have the pink flower. Now, let us mix them together, put it down, and cross it. So, we have here the result. As you can see, there are 2 boxes having the same genotype, which is FR and FW. And another 2 boxes is FW and FW. So what is the genotype? The genotype is 50% FR and FW and 50% FW and FW. Now, identify the phenotypes. So what is this FR and FW means? This FR and FW means pink flower. So 50% pink flower and FW, which is 50%, which is equal to a white flower. Now, let us proceed to the second type of non-Mendelian pattern of inheritance, which is codominance. Codominance, both alleles are expressed equally in phenotypes of the heterozygote. Let's have an example. We have here the red and white flower. Result to a red and white flower. As you can see, in codominance, both of the parent traits, red and white, are equally expressed. That is codominance. Now, let's have an example. Let us cross the red and the white flower. As you can see, this is the result. All of the boxes are FR and FW, so 100% red and white flower. Now, let's have another activity in which you are going to identify the picture that I'm going to show you, either incomplete or codominance. Let's start with the first picture. Alright, the first one we have standard poodle plus Labrador equals to Labradoodle. What do you think it is? Codominance or incomplete dominance? The correct answer is incomplete dominance because one allele is not completely dominant over the others, resulting to a third or new phenotype. Alright, the next one we have a white chicken mated with a black chicken equals to a checkered chicken. What do you think it is? Alright, the correct answer is it's a codominance because both of the alleles or traits of the 2 parents are equally expressed. As you can see, the chicken has a black and white colored. Next, so we have an orange fur plus black fur resulting to an orange and black fur. So this is what we call, very good, it's a codominance because both of the parents' allele are expressed equally. Alright, Now, let's move on to the next example. We have hair, a straight hair crossed with a curly hair, resulting to a wavy hair. What do you think it is? It is called incomplete dominance because the cross resulted to a third type of phenotype, which is the first trait is not completely dominant over the other traits. Alright, good job! I hope you have learned and you have already differentiated the two patterns. Alright, so let's proceed to the third type of non-Mendelian pattern of inheritance, which is the multiple alleles. From the words itself, multiple, a gene that is controlled by more than two alleles. Alright, and the good example for multiple allele is our blood type. Do you know your blood type? It is important that you should know your blood type. There are 4 types of blood, and that is type AB, type B, blood type AB, and blood type O. Do you know your blood type? Alright, and this 4 blood type, for blood type A, it has antigen A, while blood type B has antigen B, and blood type AB has antigen AB, and blood type O has no antigen, or neither antigen A or antigen B is present. Alright, next, let's have the different genotype of the different blood type. Let's start with blood type A. As you can see, blood type A has 2 different genotypes. The first one is antigen A and antigen A. The other one is antigen A and I. And blood type A can receive blood from blood type A and blood type O. And the blood type B has 2 different genotypes. The first one is antigen B and antigen B, and the other one is antigen B and I. And blood type B can receive blood type OO and blood type B. And blood type AB has a genotype of antigen A and B. This is an example of codominance because both of the parents' trait appears on the gene or the genotype. And AB can receive blood type A, B, AB, and O. And it is considered as a universal recipient because it can receive blood type from different blood types. And for blood type O, it has no antigen, therefore it has only II genotype. And it can receive blood type O only. And as you can see, blood type O can be donated to the different type of blood type because it is considered as universal donor. So those are the 3 types of non-Mendelian patterns. We have number 1, incomplete dominance, we have codominance, and lastly, multiple alleles. Now let's proceed to the next one. There are some traits that are controlled by sex-related inheritance. Let's proceed. Sex chromosome and sex determination. In each cell, humans have 46 chromosomes, or a total of 23 pairs of chromosomes from our parents. 22 pairs are somatic chromosome, in which carries all the traits that we have in our parents, the genetic code, and the genetic materials that is present in our cells. And the 23rd pair consists of the sex chromosome. This is the one that determines whether we are going to be a boy or a girl. The male 23rd chromosome is X and Y, which is non-identical sex chromosomes. While the female chromosome is X and X, which is identical sex chromosomes. So always remember that females has X and X and male has X and Y chromosomes. How is sex determined and inherited? When an egg is fertilized by a sperm with a Y chromosome, the baby is male. When an egg is fertilized by a sperm carrying an X chromosome, the baby will become female. Therefore, what determines the sex of the baby will depend on the presence or absence of the father's chromosome, which is Y. Alright, and next, what percent of children would you expect to be male or female? There is expectedly, when you cross male and female, there is expected 50% male and 50% female. Now let's proceed to the three kinds of sex-related inheritance. We have the first one, sex-linked traits. These are inherited through the X chromosomes only. Or number two, the sex-influenced traits. This occurs when phenotypes are different between males and females with the same genotype. And the third one, sex-limited traits. Traits that can only be expressed in one sex or the other. The traits are not found on the X and Y chromosomes, meaning they are generally autosomal. Alright, so congratulations for completing another lesson for today. So that ends our video lesson today. So I want you to check your answers and compare it to this one, which is the possible answer in your questions in your modules. I hope you learned something today, and for those who haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe and please hit the like button. Goodbye!